So Dragon Age The Veilguard is coming out soon. And as a longtime Dragon Age fan, there's a bunch of things that I just can't wait to find out about in this game. Most of them to do with lore and things that happened in tie-in Dragon Age media, comics and such. And in this video, I'm going to be going down a list of things that I just can't wait to find out about. To start us off, we have the fate of the crew from Dragon Age Absolution. Now, in case you don't know what that is, there's a Netflix series called Dragon Age Absolution that is set after the events of Dragon Age Inquisition, but before the events of Dragon Age The Veilguard. Plot-wise, it centers around a crew of people who were sent to steal a magical item called the Circulum Infinitus that is said to be able to bring someone back from the dead. If you played Inquisition, you might be interested to learn that this crew is led by none other than Fairbanks. If you haven't seen this show already, I highly recommend you do. It's just 6 episodes long. You can bang that out in a night. It shouldn't take you any time to finish it. There was also a revelation made at the end of Dragon Age Absolution regarding a character called the Crimson Knight. That's all I'm going to say about that, but it gets me very excited to see what happens in Dragon Age The Veilguard. Moving on, we have the fate of Dorian and House Pavus. Dorian was a Tevinter mage who was a companion and potential love interest for the Inquisitor, the main character in Dragon Age Inquisition. As a Tevinter citizen, Dorian believes that Tevinter can be better than what it is. Tevinter has a really, really bad reputation. If you've played these games, you know what I'm talking about. I really do hope he makes an appearance in this game, because I like Dorian. I never played the Dorian romance in Inquisition. He just never really appealed to me in that way, but I like his character. He's cool. Also, Fenris from Dragon Age 2, who was a former Tevinter slave. I hope he makes an appearance, or is at least mentioned somewhere in an Easter egg or a codex entry or something like that. That'd be pretty cool. Moving on, we have the consequences of leaving whoever it is the Inquisitor left in the Fade. This was one of the hardest decisions to make in Dragon Age Inquisition. And depending on choices that you made in the previous games, your choices of who to leave in the Fade boil down to either Hawk, that would be male or female Hawk, whichever one you played as in Dragon Age 2, Alistair, if he never became king in Dragon Age Origins, or the Warden Stroud. In my case, I chose to leave Alistair in the Fade, so I can't wait to see how that turns out. Also, the fact that veil jumpers are a thing in Dragon Age The Veilguard kind of hints at the possibility of your characters or your party going into the Fade, which gets me very excited to see if, Alistair lived or he exists as some sort of spirit like the Divine did back in Inquisition. So that'd be really fun to see. I can't wait to find out about that. Next, we have the consequences of whoever the Inquisitor supported to be the Divine. Now, we already saw hints of this in the Trespasser DLC for Dragon Age Inquisition. Personally, I felt like Vivienne would make a great Divine, mostly because the Fast Mage Divine would have been a really interesting story. And speaking of Divines, I can't wait to see how the Tevinter Divine ties into the story of Dragon Age The Veilguard. He's mentioned briefly in Dragon Age Absolution, but he's never actually shown. So I really want to find out what he's like. And also the fact that Tevinter has a male Divine is kind of cool, whereas Ole and Ferelden have a female Divine. So I really want to see how the attitudes towards the Chantry are in Tevinter. So that'd be really fun to see. And finally, we have the fate of various people that we saw in the Dragon Age tie-in comic called The Missing. The Missing is a 4-issue comic by Dark Horse Comics, and it's set before the events of Dragon Age the Veilguard, and it follows the adventures of Varric and Scout Harding as they're looking for Solus. They meet a couple of people along the way, a few Grey Wardens, these 2 Antivan Crows, who I'm really excited to see, and a couple of Veil Jumpers. And since you can select the faction that your Rook belongs to in Dragon Age the Veilguard, I really would like to see how these characters tie into, Rook's story. Maybe they make appearances. Maybe they're mentioned somewhere in the Veilguard. I don't know. I haven't played the game yet, and neither have you. These are all reasons to get really excited about this game, and as I said, as a long-time Dragon Age fan, I can't wait to find out how all of these things tie into the world of Dragon Age, the Veilguard. This is really all I have for you today. Thank you so much for being here. And if you made it this far in the video, cast like and subscribe. Hit that bell to be notified whenever I come out with new videos. And keep it Occam's Greatsword for more great gaming and RPG content. Peace!